Welcome back to a test of this week's offer cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, first things first for this week, we're testing the Enus Jubilee. I can't do it dressed like that. I need something much more suitable. That's much better. Yep, that suits the car. Okay, so off we go. The Enus Jubilee, which I do apologise, I'm probably going to mispronounce it. I'm going to call it Anus all the way through. I can see it coming. This is an interesting one because you do already have one of these in the agency, if you've got an agency, which, considering it's agency week and they're on offer, you either should already have one or you should buy one. It's a fabulous way of making money. Anyway, I digress. You have Franklin's Jubilee. Ooh dear. Crap. Right, let's start again. You have Franklin's Jubilee in the agency. So what I thought would be the best way of testing this would be to test this against the agency Jubilee and actually see if it's worth buying a second one. Now, a friend of mine has told me many times that it's definitely worth buying a second one and that I'm a really tight sod for not buying a second one. So it's on offer this week. It's a decent discount. I think I paid about 700,000 for this, which is not a lot because this thing takes Imani tech, so you get the lock-on jammer, the armour plating, and a machine gun that actually does something. Oh dear. And a machine gun that actually does something. Most of the machine guns in this game are mounted far too low. Oh, nice slide. This one, with it being a much taller car, these are actually mounted at a height that you can do something with. So they're actually some of the more useful guns in the, well, car-mounted guns in the game. So anyway, through traffic handling, it's good, but in a strange way. You can't get it through that many gaps, but it's so heavy and quite fast that if there isn't a gap there like that, you just make one. Now, I've already tested the agency, and already I can tell you this thing feels a lot faster. It handles a lot better. The turning is much better. That's one of the things that is really affected by the upgrades, is the speed of the turning and the handling, and the transmission upgrade makes a surprising amount of difference, as you'll see. Well, hopefully when I get around to the other side. One thing that I did notice about this car is that it really struggles on the hills. I think it will be more evident in the agency one than this, because this one's kind of doing okay, but if you listen you can hear it slowing down. So, through traffic, I think I'd score it reasonably well. Like I say, you don't. It's not very good at getting through the gaps, but if you don't see a gap, just drive into stuff and make one. And it handles surprisingly well for a car of this size and weight. It handles surprisingly well. It's based on the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which is a fabulous looking thing. Although, for reasons I don't understand, they've based the outside on the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and the interior appears to be based on the interior from a 1988 Austin Montego. As you can imagine, without huge wings, downforce on this thing isn't brilliant, but the grip makes up for that. It handles really surprisingly well. Right here, you can hear, even with this fully upgraded one, just listen, it's struggling so much to get up what seems to be a relatively small hill. It's slowing right down. In other cars I've tested, I've never had one slow down this much on approach. So let's do the top speed test, and right, you can hear it's picking up a little bit now. When I'll do a side-by-side comparison with the agency Jubilee, and you'll see that one was much worse. That one was actually quite painful around that section of track. And this is what top speed we managed to do. Okay, so we're coming up to the end. Review time. What do I think? Is it worth buying? I think on balance it actually is, especially at this money, because it's on a good discount. I think it's about 40% off, so you'll be paying about 700,000 for this, plus your upgrades obviously, which in Grand Theft Auto Online in 2023, that's not a lot of money. And what you're getting is a car that's very quick, very good handling. The handling is a lot better than the agency one. The difference across the board is very easy to feel. The difference in top speed, the difference in handling, the difference in braking as well in particular. So I think the improvements are worthwhile, and this is a very, very useful car to have in free mode, because wow, yeah, this is not actually a bad little session. And here again you can see the difference between the agency Jubilee and the custom one. The agency one, I really struggled to get through the traffic just like this, because the turning is so woolly, whereas this, even though it's big, I'm managing to thread it through. Apart from there, let's have a look at the final times for both. And you can see that is a crushing victory for the custom Jubilee.